We met when I was a sophomore and she was a senior. There was something exhilarating about that age difference. I felt like the ultimate cool kid swinging a date with a gorgeous older woman. She taught me how to drive. She guided my maturity. When she left for college and left me behind in high school for 2 years, the separation anxiety was paralyzing. My insecurity grew like a weed. That's why, the second we got our first apartment together, I proposed. I needed to lock it down. She was the only woman I could ever see myself with. If I lost her, I lost everything. When she said yes, the anxiety melted away. But it didn't stay gone. Through all the warmth she provided, I couldn't shake the feeling that she was slipping. It created friction. I was paranoid, constantly seeking reassurance, suffocating her. I knew I was doing it, but I couldn't stop. I wondered why she put up with it for so long. Until the afternoon I found the diary. She had hidden it in the velvet lining of her jewelry box. I sat at her vanity, turning the pages, reading the words that pierced right through my chest. Paranoid. Possessive. Obsessive. And the one that broke me, terrifying. I want to leave, but I'm too scared of what he'll do. Me. The kid she taught to drive. The man who worshipped the ground she walked on. Terrifying. While I sat there, my heart hammering against my ribs, a quivering voice echoed from the bedroom doorway. Honey, why are you sitting at my vanity? I closed the notebook. I didn't rage. I didn't yell. In that exact moment, a strange, crystalline clarity washed over me. I looked at her reflection in the mirror, her wide, frightened eyes, and I smiled. Just looking for a pen, sweetie, I said, my voice completely level. She wanted out. Fine. But I wasn't going to let her ruin my life, take my assets, and drag our 2 children into a messy, bitter custody battle where the father always starts at a disadvantage. If she thought I was a monster, it was time to stop acting like a pathetic, insecure boy and start acting like a brilliant strategist. I began my masterclass. Step 1, the ultimate husband. For the next 8 months, I became the most agreeable, supportive, and laid-back husband on the planet. The insecure arguments, gone overnight. Hey, honey, I said a week later, handing her a glass of wine. I realized I've been so suffocating lately. You deserve your freedom. Why don't you take a weekend trip with the girls? Go to Vegas, have fun. I've got the kids. She was hesitant at first, looking for the trap. But when she came home to a clean house and a happy husband, her guard began to drop. Over the next few months, I practically pushed her out the door. I encouraged her to re-enroll in night classes, to go to happy hours, to take weekend spa retreats. And every single time she left, I became the sole primary caregiver for our children. I took them to every pediatrician appointment. I registered myself as the sole emergency contact at their school. I coached my son's soccer team. I kept a meticulous hidden digital calendar of every single hour I spent parenting alone while she was out finding herself. Step 2, the digital trail. I knew about the diary, which meant I knew she was documenting her fears. If we went to court, her lawyer would try to paint me as an unstable, controlling freak. I needed to build a counter-narrative that no judge could dispute. I started sending her sweet, incredibly reasonable text messages whenever she was out late. Take your time tonight, sweetie. So glad you're out enjoying yourself. The kids and I just finished dinner and we're baking cookies. Text me when you're leaving the bar so I know you're safe. Every text was a calculated piece of evidence. I was establishing a written record of a loving, calm, supportive father while documenting her frequent, prolonged absences from the family home. But the coup de grace was the diary itself. One weekend, while she was at a music festival I had encouraged her to attend, I took her diary to a high-end scanning service. I duplicated every single page. Then I hired an expert graphologist to verify the handwriting. I didn't want to just prove she wrote it. I wanted to use her own words as the anchor of my trap. Step 3, the checkmate. Last month, the trap was fully set. I had 8 months of bank statements showing her spending thousands on personal trips, while my account paid for all the children's needs. I had school and medical records proving I was the active parent. And I had the diary. I waited until a Tuesday morning. She came downstairs in her bathrobe, pouring a cup of coffee. I was sitting at the kitchen table, two thick manila folders resting in front of me. "What's this?" she asked, smiling lightly. "Your freedom," I said calmly. I pushed the first folder toward her. It contained divorce papers, a custody agreement giving me full physical and legal custody of the children, and a waiver relinquishing her rights to the house and my retirement accounts. She laughed out loud. "Are you insane? I'm not signing this. I'll take you to court, get full custody, and bleed you dry. You're an unstable, controlling psycho, and I'll tell the judge exactly that." "With what evidence?" I asked, leaning back. "I have proof," she snapped, her voice rising. "I have a diary detailing exactly how terrified I've been of you for years." I smiled, reached down, and slid the second folder toward her. "You mean this one?" She opened it. Her face drained of all color as she stared at the high-resolution photocopies of her most intimate, secret thoughts. "Here is how court is going to go if you don't sign those papers today," I said, my voice dropping to a cool, quiet whisper. "My lawyer will introduce your diary into evidence. We will highlight every single page where you claim to be terrified of me, where you call me dangerous and obsessive." "Exactly," she stammered. "The judge will see what you are." "No, Michelle. The judge will look at the last 8 months of text messages, flight itineraries, and bar receipts showing that while you allegedly felt terrified and unsafe in my home, you willingly left our toddlers alone in my sole care for days at a time so you could party in Vegas and Miami. You left them with me every single weekend." She blinked, the realization beginning to dawn on her like a cold shadow. "If you truly believed I was a dangerous, unstable monster," I continued, "and you repeatedly abandoned your children with me to go have fun, the court will find you guilty of egregious child endangerment. You will be painted as an unfit, negligent mother who prioritized her social life over protecting her kids from a supposed threat. I will win custody, the house, and you will be supervised during supervised visitation, if you get it at all." She stared at me, her mouth opening and closing. She looked down at the texts, the calendar logs, the diary pages. She had been playing checkers, celebrating her newfound freedom, while I had been playing grandmaster chess. "You planned this," she whispered, a tear finally slipping down her cheek. "You never changed. You're a monster." "I'm a father protecting his kingdom," I replied, handing her a pen. "Sign the papers, Michelle. You get the freedom you always wanted, and I get to keep everything that actually matters." With trembling hands, realizing she had been utterly outmaneuvered, she signed. She wanted to leave. I just made sure she left alone.